Anniversary of the game of the century and a trip down to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. Nebraska linebacker Luke Reimer was named the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week today after finishing the game against Buffalo with 16 tackles and an interception, which he nearly returned for a touchdown. Reimer's 16 tackles are the most by a Husker since the 2015 season. Third-ranked Nebraska volleyball welcomed 20th-ranked Utah to Lincoln and dropped their first game of the year to the Utes. The Huskers took the first two sets 25-18 and 26-24, then dropped the following three 27-25, 25-22, and 15-13. Nebraska was led by freshman Lindsey Krause, who finished with a season-best 15 kills while hitting .317, while Nicklin Hames posted her fifth straight double-double. Nebraska hits the road for the final time in non-conference play as they visit number 14 Stanford on Tuesday. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the Coppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked up by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
It is Old School on a Monday where the Huskers are victorious. Are we satisfied? Are we happy? We'll find out over the next hour. Jay Foreman's on his way. A couple of things to talk about as we go through this. I am not into making up stories about this team. This team is who this team is. Like they have fully they are allowed to be who they are. And what they are currently is 2-1, and they're headed to Oklahoma. Now, let's break this down. Let's look at Buffalo before we look at Oklahoma. Cool. Can we do that? Again, you can chime in on the Starter Heyman text line, 464-56685. You can call in on the Honda Lincoln hotline if you want. And then Old School is live on the video stream. Find us. Have at it. Add to the conversation. Buffalo. Saturday morning, I said to Bach and I said to Rico that this Husker team was better at every position than Buffalo. And I meant that. I absolutely meant that. That I would not take the starter from Buffalo over any starter at Nebraska. And I meant that. That's after 15 hours of film study. Finally, Friday night, I felt relieved that Saturday morning was going to go the way that I thought it would. Now, the first thing that I said Saturday was, this has to be a clean football game for Nebraska. And it wasn't. That's not critical. Like, you can tell the truth about a thing and not finger point. It wasn't a clean game. They have ways to improve. They have certain areas to improve. And by pointing out the things that they would be better or should be better at, that's just being a fan and telling the truth. That's what that is. So I would say this about Saturday's game. The flashes, Luke Reimer giving you that sort of effort across the board. JoJo Domann, it was like Batman and Robin over there. Like they were showing up in tandem at every big moment for every big play. We got to see depth in the defensive secondary, right? We got to see some playmakers on the backside of that defense that got to the ball on time, delivered some hits, and got their hand in play and broke up some passes, right? Their run past the RPO decision-making needs to improve. On those run past pass option situations, the corners have to be on the same page. They have to be on the same page. And I'll get further into why the RPO coverage and decision-making needs to be better Saturday against Oklahoma, because that's Oklahoma's jam. That is their bread and butter. That's how they get down. That's how they set you off. So that RPO decision-making needs to be on point. Up front, the big guys in rotation handled theirs. Look, they didn't get pressure. They did not get pressure, but they often closed passing windows. Don't miss out that sometimes just because you don't get sacks doesn't mean you aren't disrupting the pass offense. 4 batted down balls from the big guys up front, getting their hand up in an open window and batting down a pass or having it tipped. Pressure. Having him move his feet and not able to extend his stride so he can step into his throw and make it the way he wants to. There were a couple of throws that were thrown into the grass and a couple that were thrown overhead simply because he did not have the room to step and throw. There is a trust thing that's happening on this Husker defense. Players being accountable to one another and being able to wish and hope that their teammate will be where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. There was much less of the independent Lone Ranger activity in the secondary and the back seven on Saturday. Even playing aggressively, the back seven did their jobs. There was less me and more we. And it showed. It showed. Kudos to the linebackers in the run fits. First quarter didn't look quite the way we wanted the fits to look, but adjustments were made. The Huskers defense adapted. Bravo. But credit the big butts up front. They understand the big three were accounting for 3, sometimes 4 blockers, freeing up linebackers to make plays. Not always sexy. It's not always sexy for the big folks up front. But it seemed to me to be a team effort and a group effort to say, we will occupy the linemen so that these linebackers can make these plays. And to tell you, when you have your top 2 linebackers, I believe with 16 and 8 tackles, then guess what? That doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen alone. Credit to the big butts up front for freeing up those linebackers to go and make their plays. And it looked a little different. It looked a little different on offense. It looked like Adrian Martinez was doing what he was good at. That's what it looked like. Pet peeve of mine. Stop asking a line to be a frog. Like, let him be who he is. Adrian Martinez is talented. Let him play the game in an athletic way where he has as much chance to be successful as the athletes that are playing against him. You take the shackles off Adrian Martinez's feet and off his ankles, and he will be a problem for any defense they face on this schedule this year. And I can tell you, Oklahoma's linebackers, Adrian could beat them with his feet. As a matter of fact, he has to. It's what he did to Buffalo. He was a little bit quicker, a little bit tougher, a little bit stronger than Buffalo's defenders. And Buffalo's defense is not Oklahoma's, granted. But the things that Adrian did well on Saturday will apply to Oklahoma. Couple of things to know about that, and we'll go over that in a little bit. Running back room. Do we have answers or more questions? The quality of a team can be measured by the number of questions that exist about them on an individual and collective level. The quarterback room, we got a question answered. There is a number 2. There's a competent number 2. Okay. If Smothers was going to go out there and run option for this Husker team, I'd be okay with it. I'd be okay with it. The question is, who's RB1, 2, 3, and 4? And do you need all 4? Do you need all 4? because Saturday's going to be a brawl. And you don't need to be putting guys number 3 out there if number 3 isn't the guy. Like, can he be the guy? What we know from QB, from running back 1 and running back 2, we know that Stepp can handle big-time football, Power 5 football. He did it at USC. He showed it in week 1 and week 2. We understand it. We know that young Gabe Ervin has the wiggle and the drive, and he also may be the best pass protector of the bunch. I was told that he was the best receiver of the bunch, but he's also the best pass protector of the bunch. And I don't mean just getting in the way. I'm talking about Gabe Ervin put his manhood on point Saturday. Like he stuck his chest out and put a hit on some folks, some big folks. He didn't care whether it was a defensive lineman, linebacker, or a safety on a blitz. Gabe Ervin was bodying some folks, which means you can play him in different situations. Savion Morrison, look, he flashed. He looked like he would have been as good a runner as they had last year. And then there's Jack Rosant, and he's the fan favorite and the one that everybody wants to see. And there's a reason why. There's a reason why you want to see him. Everybody wants a bully on their side. Everybody wants a gangster on their side. Makes perfect sense. The receiver room. We have a receiver 1. We have a wide receiver 1. Toure is everything that he was said to be. And before folks get on it was against Buffalo, and let me explain. No. See, you measure people by their impact on the games that they play, no matter who they play. Did he do the things that were required? Because there's some things that translate to against an FCS team and a Power 5 team. There are things that they absolutely transfer and they translate. His getting man coverage and putting his foot on a skinny post was glorious. Glorious. Him in space, outstanding. Who's the number 2? We watched injuries we watched the injuries take place. And the depth was challenged. We saw young Hickman showed out at tight end. Well done. But you're going to Norman, Oklahoma. You need your 1s and 2s this week. This is not a 3 and 4 week. This is not a 3s and 4 week. This is a 1s and 2s week. This is Oklahoma. We're not talking about. This is not the mother dudes.
This is not play.
No. This is not. We're not play fighting. We're not slap fighting. We're not doing it. He's going to answer the phone because he's nuts.
So you're saying it's a viable opponent. We're not going to be shadow boxing.
No. They invited you for a reason.
Yeah, we're gonna see. I mean, it's I think it's a game that Nebraska can win. Sometimes I think teams. The funny thing is about preseason rankings, right? Where teams will get ranked really high, and then you'll see them, and they're like, oh, they actually weren't really that good. Maybe they got on a run last year, or the assumption is that they'll be good in whatever year that's coming up. So, really what needs to happen, if I was in Nebraska shoes, if I was a player, I would just draw back on a legitimate number 2 team in the nation that we played last year in the first game of the season during the pandemic, with no spring ball and a thrown together fall camp, and went toe-to-toe with them. Definitely easily could argue and realistically say we were the better team in the first half, and went toe-to-toe with them for, the other quarter. So for 3 quarters, we were hanging with the number 2 team in the nation. So anything besides that, I wouldn't be worried. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, no disrespect to Oklahoma. They have a ton of players. They've been good for, ever since Lincoln Riley's taken over, they've been a legit, top 10 team. been in the, Final Four or College Bowl series, numerous times. So they're, definitely a team that you got to respect and know that they can, put up some points on you, but you definitely don't get off the bus fearing them because Nebraska's got athletes. Nebraska's done it against a legitimate team, which, here's what I would say. I would say if you took the Ohio State team from last year with Justin Fields and the Oklahoma team from this year with Rattler and say they played together, whether you want to do PlayStation or just realistically, the Ohio State team, in my opinion, is better in every single facet. They're better at quarterback. They were better at running back. They were better at tight end. They're better at offensive line. I felt like the defense last year was better than the defense that Oklahoma, fields this year. With Nebraska coming back essentially with everybody that they need, right? And even the players that they lost from last year's team, I could argue that the guys that are playing are as good or in at the end of the season will be better. So I wouldn't say worry about them. I would say just look, we got to be on our P's and Q's. We can't have mental lapses. We can't have communication breakdowns. We can't have penalties that'll put us behind the chains. And whether you're playing Oklahoma or Pacific or Fordham or Buffalo or Michigan State or Michigan, you can't do that anyways. So how is it any different? Yes, they have guys that are legit, next level players, but we have players that can go out there and compete. So at the end of the day, you just got to prepare. Yes, the game is a bigger game. Yes, there is some history there, but at the end of the day, we got to go in again, same thing. Handle your business before you worried about other business, and that's a hard thing to do. It's an easy thing to say. It's a hard thing to do in this element of college football because people worry about other people's business before they worry about their own in football or in life. Handle your stuff and everything will be okay. That's making sure that our plays are running crisper. Are we doing better as far as our offensive line calls and our offensive line execution, right? Because the offense is going to be on the road. So that has to be heightened, right? So that has to be almost overboard, right? So you got to talk in between every single play. So it's just kind of like I'm going to know what Derek is going to say about a certain play or a certain series of plays. So then when we get in the game on Saturday, we've already covered it on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And so it's something that can be done. You got to be extremely physical with Oklahoma. You can't give them any points. You got to, ideally you'd like to match score for score with them, but you want to make it into a different type of game that they do not like to play. If you want a perfect example of how to go about it, you can look no further than the Iowa and Iowa State game. You had a team that, if you took Iowa State's roster, I would say they probably have more NFL prospects than Iowa.
Okay.
One, because Iowa's guys haven't fully developed, but just at the end of the day, Iowa lost a lot, right? The Iowa State is significantly better individual versus individual at quarterback. I would say that even though I like Iowa's running back, I would say Iowa State's running back is better. He is.
From a talent standpoint, absolutely.
Yeah, talent. I mean, I'm talking about guys that are looking at him for the next level.
Yeah.
Okay. I would say tight end, probably Iowa has the advantage. Receiver, Iowa State has the advantage. Offensive line might be a wash, except for Iowa has a really, really special center. Everybody else is just okay. Receivers, Iowa State has a significant advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Defense as a whole, obviously Iowa, I think right now is playing really, really well. At the end of the year, I would say it's probably about the same. Physicality definitely teeter-totters towards Iowa. Special teams, wash. Coaching acumen, coaching experience, definitely teeters towards Iowa. Physicality, playing against a Big 12 team, shortens the gap athletically that is the perception out there. And it actually teeters, it tips the scales towards Big 10 teams So that's just where it's at.
I'm looking at this now. Did you see the USC news?
No, I seen you over there. Listen here, man. They need to change these. We'll call them hydroglyphics grow laws here in Lincoln. I got cataracts or glaucoma, whatever. Brother can't see that well, so I can't see that over there. I can't, but I guess you're gonna bless us with some news.
So the news: USC has fired Clay Helton.
So you 14 days into the season?
They have fired.
They didn't fire me. You know what they said? We said we'll holler at a play when you see in the street.
Yeah, like douches. They said this afternoon. This is from Mike Bohn, the athletic director. Said, I informed Clay Helton of my decision to make a change in the leadership of our football program. Clay is one of the finest human beings I've met in this industry, and he has been a tremendous role model and mentor to our young men. We appreciate his many years of service to our university and wish him nothing but the very best.
Dang. If that isn't as about as hands off, get the heck out of town firing. That's USC though, because they got Lane Kiffin on the tarmac, right?
You know they got somebody.
No, they got Lane Kiffin on the tarmac, right? Was that USC?
That's yeah.
So
well, this is what's funny. Like, and nobody like Lane Kiffin is like, listen, Joey Freshwater is a pimp. Like he's just a plain old pimp. And imagine he's got his crew down there and USC calls and he gets on a plane. Look, man, if I'm some of the dads of them dudes that play for Kiffin, we going to fight.
Who are you fighting though?
Kiffin.
No, you ain't, because he already gone.
No. He going to be somewhere where I can get
So you think they're going to hire Lane Kiffin?
He came to my crib and lied to me.
But that's the coaches though. Because coaches will recruit a Jake Sorensen over there who can't play a lick of golf and then be like, okay, well, I got you to sign, and then after the signing period, they're gone. Are you fighting them? Because the old saying is, did you commit to the coach or the university?
The coach, university ain't coming to my house. Look, that nonsense always flies backwards for me. You listen, I said I was going to play for
Lane Kiffin.
But
do you think they're going to hire Lane Kiffin?
I think if you're USC, you have the talent to be a top 10 team in the country on a regular basis.
Right, but I'm asking you a question. Do you think
I wouldn't hire him?
But do you think USC is going to hire Lane Kiffin and say, hey, look, we're going to right the wrong. You're a better coach than you went under Nick Saban. We think that you got your issues outside of football under control. We think you can handle USC. Number two, USC has never done that before. You got to think, though. They fired my man on the tarmac. Okay. They say, welcome back. Here's your walking papers. Do you think they're going to say they would have to pay him a king's ransom?
I'm trying to figure out who they like, because you don't make that move without having somebody.
Right. That used to be, in my opinion, that used to be like the saying, like you're not going to fire a coach and not have B and C in your back pocket. I think people just do this all the time and just don't even think, because their idea of having a B and C in their back pocket is that they just contacted their agent. You get what I'm saying? You see it all the time. These universities are firing guys, and the guy that they thought they could get don't get him.
Listen,
and then
they
be like,
press conference. They didn't even give him a press conference. They did it in a tweet.
Yeah, they did. You know what they did? They did the reverse Bobby Petrino.
Like that.
Remember when Bobby Petrino took the Arkansas job?
Yeah.
He said, "Hey, good game." Went in the bathroom, jumped on the planes of Woo Pig Sooie, and then next thing you know,
changed his shirt.
He said, "Hey, DP, I need you to put this on everybody's locker after they, they in the shower getting just for men or whatever on the."
Like he really didn't talk to his players.
No,
he really didn't, and that's okay. It's okay. Can we talk about? We need to talk about collegiate athletics, because this is nonsense. This is craziness.
Here's an interesting spin connecting it to Nebraska. The interim head coach is former Nebraska defensive backs coach Dante Williams.
Yeah, that's not going to be the one.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
that's not going to be the one. That's not going to be the one.
No, he's not going to be coach, but he's interim coach though. See, this is right here now. I mean, this is it, man. I mean, this lets you know anybody in this world can coach. That's why there's that. But look, let's just be honest. That's why there's so much bad football out here. That's why people don't watch football anymore. Nobody's really coaching football. And it's nothing. I'm not knocking anybody's hustle. I'm not hating. And I'm just saying there's guys out here when I watch on different channels. Like, dog, I know you ain't coaching because I can see it. You know, a coach, a true football coach, you can feel it coming out of his pores. You know what I'm saying? And USC has kind of always been, it was really, really steady. Then they had the stuff with the, Reggie Bush and Pete Carroll and all that. And then it's kind of been topsy-turvy ever since then. And they're the only, you talk about brand power, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like true brand power. Oregon isn't true brand power to me. Oregon is, you're going to get all the guys that want to fake it. Okay, here's an example for you people out here. Like, people, like if you go to a skateboard park, right, or surfers, right, there's always that thing. If you're a poser surfer,
right,
like you're like you work on like the you're a corporate America guy, pull your like Maserati up to the beach, take off, put your wetsuit on, and then you still got you're clean shaven and everything. They're gonna beat you up, right? So you're a poser, right? But you got the best surfboard, you got the best accessories and all that. That's Oregon. And look, great win this weekend. But I'm just saying in general, right? People are going there for uniforms, opportunity with Phil Knight, Nike, X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
No championships, no hardware.
Yeah,
and one Heisman, right? No, but let's just be honest. And listen here.
But isn't that fascinating that Oregon's never won a title, right?
No, and to be honest with you, if Oregon came knocking, it'd be a consideration when in 1994 if they were like what they are now. My dad be like, hey, look, my dad would probably be up there wheeling and dealing, talking about what type of bag you get. Hey, my dad be like, hey, I need to be an employee, so, but at the end, so that's
why you putting your family business out there like
because
that?
The statute of limitations is over. I'm gonna tell you like this. I ain't gonna tell you the agent. Agent called my dad. He said, hey, my dad told us, hey, man, I don't even really like you, but if you want to get a conversation with my son, it's $5-10 grand. Hey, we ate good that night. You know what I'm saying? But now back to this. Now true brand, true star power, true reality. Like if I walked in with the SC, like if I'm a coach and I walk in with SC, like records are out the door. I'm actually going from in the line to the front of the line. So,
and that's everybody. That's every university.
And that's everybody. That means hey, look, SC could lose the rest of the games this year, right? January 1st, they named Jay Foreman the head coach. I can go anywhere in this nation and say, I want a meeting with DP or Playboy Nick over there. And I can tell you, you need to come to USC. And I can guarantee you, there could be better fits, say, like in your area. Say you're from like the New Jersey area versus Rutgers or like, say, like a Michigan. I'm leapfrogging them.
Everybody wants LA.
Well, it's not even about LA.
No, but that's like
but LA is LA's the super cherry on top. What SC is just different. It's Ohio State, it's Alabama, it's in a lot of ways it used to be like Texas. Which I mean, that brand power is Texas. USC, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if it's in the 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s.
It's still number two.
It's still going to be there.
It's still number two.
But it's amazing to me that it's really been in flux. I mean, they had Pat Hayden as their AD, then Lynn Swan,
Mike
Garrett. Heck, they might even get Charles White up in there. But I'm gonna tell you about Pat Hayden, man. And one of my boys it sounds just like Pat Hayden.
No, hold that. Don't. We'll hold it. We'll go to break. Hold that. We'll have the Pat Hayden story right after the break.
All right.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey guys, looking for that extra confidence when it's time to have fun? Let me tell you about BlueChew.com. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable form and at a fraction of the cost. Blue Chew tablets help men combat all forms of ED. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. And it ships right to your door in a discreet package. The process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com. Consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part? It's all done online. Don't like swallowing pills? No problem here. Blue Chew's tablets are chewable. Blue Chew's tablets are made in the USA, and they prepare and ship direct, so it's cheaper than a pharmacy. And here's a special deal for our listeners. Try Blue Chew free when you use our promo code TICKET at checkout. Just pay $5 shipping. That's BlueChew.com, promo code TICKET, to receive your first month free.
Last year, the average starting pay for an SCC truck driver training program graduate was $44,720. Southeast Community College can now make that a reality in only 8 weeks with its professional truck driver training class starting in October. SCC's fleet of 12 trucks and professional instructors will prepare you for a new career. You'll end the course with your Class A CDL. Learn more about SCC's professional truck driver training class at southeast.edu/truckdriver. SCC, your path to possible.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
Liberty First Credit Union is here to help you save time and money. Get a consolidation loan and conveniently combine all of your loans into one, leaving you with one fixed payment and one low-rate loan. Not a member? That's okay. Join Liberty First Credit Union at any of the 4 Lincoln locations, Seward, and in Omaha at 108th and L Street. Start saving with Liberty First Credit Union. Apply for a consolidation loan now at libertyfirstcu.com today. Approval required. Equal opportunity lender. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
You could close out 2021 winning $2,022 and go on to win $1 million at the beginning of 2022 in the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball's Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with Power Play ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 lucky people to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million at the start of the new year. It's a promotion that truly rocks. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
Early break with Sip and Jake.
Did you guys know that Creighton's never beaten Nebraska in volleyball?
They thought this is their best chance to beat Nebraska because Nebraska won in 5 sets against UNO last week. Oh, you got to be beatable today, right? No.
Mocking tones.
Yeah, it was mocking tones. That's right.
Mocking tones.
Creighton thinks they're all high and mighty. They can come in and beat Nebraska in their own area, and they got a taste of reality is what they got.
That's 20 straight that Nebraska has beaten Creighton.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning. We take our college football Saturdays so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one post-game show simply isn't enough. Join Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and DP for The Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point and bring in special guests as well, with giveaways to listeners who drop by. It's The Ticket postgame with Jay Foreman and DP at Tanner's Bar and Grill. Sponsored by Action Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning and Vinny Krekak of State Farm Insurance.
Want to get a hot and perfect body fast? It's so easy. All you have to do is eat lots of bananas, but peels only, and always be sweating, but never look sweaty. That's disgusting.
Don't follow extreme routines. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness. Now through September 16th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get back to a real routine with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends September 16th. See club for details.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at Tipsy Tina's in the Haymarket. Sponsored by Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, Tractor Supply Distribution Center, T.O. Haas Tire and Auto, Planet Fitness, Barnwood and Leather, and Vitalize Health. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Buckle up. Just everybody's gone bananas, crazy. Jay Foreman's on fire. As a matter of fact, he was pouring water over his head during the break just to cool off. Nick he thought about going to shave because he kept pulling his hair.
When you getting your haircut, man?
So I leave for Norman Friday, so I'm getting it Friday morning.
Oh, you trying to get up in there, be fresh to death. Look at him. But hey, listen here, man.
It's gonna look bad this week, but we're gonna have to live with it.
You gotta live with it. That's your 5 o'clock shadow, 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock shadow.
It's looking very bad.
I hear you.
You looking like an insurance man.
Right.
But there's no, I mean, okay, there's a reason to, but I'm not going to. I could have gotten in this morning, but then when I go out of town this weekend, it would be needed again.
You don't know how to tighten yourself up, though?
No, I can do it. I just am.
Do you own a pair of clippers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So you wouldn't.
I do all that.
So you don't keep yourself. Look at Jake over here.
Jake
be rolling around thinking he tight.
Jake thinks he's
big time. He real tight.
I have one question for you, Jay.
Okay, what is your question?
I was asleep yesterday, missed the whole day. I don't know who right now is on top of the AFC East by themselves. Could you fill me in for that real quick?
Who's winning? Who's on top of the AFC East after the first week?
I'm pretty sure there's one team.
The New York Jets?
That's solo first by themselves. No, the Jets, I'm pretty sure lost to the Panthers. The Patriots, I'm pretty sure lost to the Dolphins. And the Bills, I'm pretty sure lost to the sorry Steelers.
I know.
at
They
home.
filled up their Huggies. So that means the Dolphins got lucky. And they're number one.
Is that lucky?
So
right?
is the season over today?
Well, it could be for the Bills. You play Miami next week. If you lose on Sunday, the season's over for you.
Jake, see, here's the problem with you, Jake.
What, DP? What are you shaking your head at, DP?
Oh, no, I ain't got nothing to do with this.
Jake,
He's shaking his head.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Jake, here's the thing. This is a long marathon.
I saw DP shaking
and this
his head.
is the problem with you and some Nebraska fans. As soon as one thing happened, you draw your conclusion and don't play the long game. Okay?
Well, I'm in the
Sit
long
back.
game, brother.
Now, after I get done dealing with DP about this USC thing, I'm gonna deal with you because I'm gonna be eating good off of you too.
Come on over here, Cletus.
So now for you people out here,
You're
number one,
you're walking over. You're limping.
I was in Hy-Vee this morning at 7:07 a.m.
Early.
Give me a Scooby snack,
Uh-huh.
and the lady came up and I said, "Hey, are you Jay Foreman?" And I said, "Yeah." First, I'm like, "Well, who's asking this early?" She's like, "Well, I'd love for you guys to really come with football 1-on-1." So that's going to be in the works. Okay. Now, there is a gentleman's bet.
Okay.
Between myself.
Yep.
And DP.
Yep.
The extraordinary, the owner.
Yep.
The man.
Yep.
I won't even give you is it an acronym when you give the the 4 letters?
No, they don't need.
What is that called?
No, we don't.
Is
We
it
don't.
an acronym?
It's an acronym.
I won't even give you the acronym. Because that's usually my acronym, Hockey Night in Canada, if you know what I'm saying. But he is the Hockey Night in Canada up in here at 48th Street and approximately Oak Street. He's saying by next year, I guess at this time, let's just say when the
Opening day next year,
2022 college football season kicks off at some point in time, that Mr. Urbano Meyer is going to be the head coach of USC. I say negative Ghost Rider. That pattern is full, and we have a T-bone steak dinner bet.
I'm telling you right now, Shelly Meyer is packing bags.
Okay, and I'm telling
because
you,
she is prepared to go hang out in Hollywood with all the stars.
She
was waiting
Snoop
for them.
DOOG.
She is, but USC is not going to do it. It's not USC. They're always trying to get the guy that's on. They don't want to write the big checks. They don't want to do it.
Look,
they
Urban got his money. Jacksonville gave
they
money.
they gotta buy him out, and they're not trying to pay Urban what he's wanting. And then also, they're not gonna try to give Urban what he wants, because if they really wanted to give somebody total control, you know who they would go and get? They go down to Tuscaloosa and pay my man Nick Saban $15 million a year to turn our program around.
Would he leave Alabama?
Anybody would leave anywhere for that type of money. If you double Nick Saban's money, he'd be out there surfing like a mug, be tanner than he is right now.
Can I throw a name out there?
Yes.
James Franklin.
No. Bugs Bunny. No.
Why not?
No.
USC ain't you. That ain't
No.
you
James
ain't-
Franklin at USC. That's like putting Carlton as the head of NWA.
They already got was it Kane and Pelly out there in making movies.
Right?
They don't need nothing to
Key
James
and
Franklin
Peele,
out there.
yeah, he's Key and Peele. That's all. No, this is.
Hey,
not,
I'm gonna tell you who they might get.
And I'm
if they really, really smart, if they really trying to build a program for the long term, they'll roll down there to the Palo Alto, knock on David Shaw's door, say, "Listen here, man. I know you like all the tech stuff, but let's be honest. You've hit your ceiling with Stanford. Why don't you come up here and be the big boys? I know you don't want to do pro football, but we're right below pro football, and hand him the keys to the university, and David Shaw would turn that place around tomorrow."
I would like that. Honestly.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Because David Shaw can schmooze with the, famous people.
Right.
And then he would build USC back, and it would be a long-term fix. See, the problem with Urban, you just never know when the health is going to come, because there's going to be there's more health reasons out there in California than Jacksonville, if you know what I mean.
He's allergic to L's. That's
right.
That's when the L's show up, Urban gets sick and has to step down.
Urban, if he would have made the move earlier to NFL football, he'd be successful. He's a little bit later in his coaching career. College football is where he needs to be. Notre Dame isn't going to be open. That's probably where he really wanted to go. It's probably already been at, Notre Dame's just kind of like USC.
This dude in text line just brought out. He said Jay has this one in the back. DP was also the one telling everybody Rodgers was going to play for New England this season. Can you take a joke once, a thing that was said once in a no, no. Absolutely not.
I like I'm gonna have my T-bone steak medium.
Okay.
I don't want
mushrooms.
Stoops.
You said Stoops too. So
no, that's not what I said. That was off air.
Okay.
That's not going to be repeated. Okay?
You did not give me air quotes to let me know that was only for off air.
Yeah. If it's not Urban,
you didn't give me the head nod that was like
USC is they're always gonna try to go low ball and think and find a guy that's gonna knock it out of the park.
But isn't that the most attractive job in college football?
It is,
right? Even above Alabama, right?
If I'm coaching somewhere and say I'm a little mad at, and say I'm a successful coach, right? Just a coach that's whether it's going to bowl games or whatever, and boosters are getting on my nerves, or getting a little cold sometimes, or whatever it is. I call my agent. I was saying, "What's up, player? Let's do this."
Same money for all the jobs. So let's say the magic number is $7 million. Okay, $7 million, and every program in the country has offered you $7 million. Which one do you take?
Offer Jay Foreman?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I'm coaching at Nebraska.
Okay, so take Nebraska off the list.
Oh, oof. It's for my personality and who it's either Ohio State, USC, kind of like 1A and 1B, and you can flip them back and forth.
Where does
Florida, Miami Hurricanes?
Yeah, I was gonna say, where does Florida, Miami
Hurricanes is number 2.
Florida State fall. Where do they?
And then Florida State probably 3.
And Florida State will be available soon. So just keep
that's
that in
Deion's
mind.
job.
But Deion doesn't have a degree.
And
They said it was necessary for him to be head coach.
You know how fast Dion would get an online degree? What is it? Phoenix? Yeah. Dion would be graduating
Kaplan.
Phoenix.
Kaplan, right down the road
Kaplan.
here.
No, he didn't.
Kaplan
He'd be
University.
at the Florida State chapter. Hey, and let me tell you how Dion gonna do. Dion gonna show up, graduate from Kaplan, walk across, get his degree, and walk right into Florida State administration and sign his contract.
Oh man, that is
Then
so
with
wrong.
hiring Dion would be the best thing that they could do, and then they need to change the bylaws. Listen here, man. I was watching that game.
That last play.
No, I was watching that game, and Florida State was just kind of sputtering along. And I remember watching their DBs. I was like, these dudes is like Cadillacing. And I remember saying, I was like, you know what? They could, if this comes down to one more drive, once they didn't get that first down, and then then Jacksonville State got that other first down, they came. I said, these boys about to lose the game.
Nick, do you know the nickname of the Jacksonville State football team?
They the Dragons or something?
Like it's something weird. Like
Yeah.
that's who they lost.
Jacksonville State.
Yeah.
I was thinking you said Jackson State.
That's who
like
Florida,
the Redbirds or something, right?
That's who Florida State lost. Florida State.
Then the coach going to talk about this is, I'm embarrassed. Yeah, you embarrassed.
Gamecocks.
The Gamecocks of Jacksonville State.
Then a dude proposed to his girlfriend after.
And lost.
Oh, he'd have lost his scholarship immediately.
He did. He proposed while Jacksonville State's
Sorry.
celebrating on the field.
But you see
The dude proposed.
his uniform wasn't dirty.
Yeah, well, that.
So he didn't really care. Them dudes in the locker room mad as heck. He said, you know what, I got to do what I got to do.
No, I would have took as soon as he put the ring on, I would have took his jersey off.
That girl should have said, "No, you only can propose to me when y'all win."
No, she should have went over and said yes to one of the Jacksonville State guys. Like the guy who caught the touchdown
You're right.
pass was like, "No, I'm going with you. I'm going with you. I'm going with
Last
you."
second, 3 and 23 had the worst film sessions in history because that was something they done in practice.
Apparently not.
No, it is the way they finished that play. I guarantee you that play has happened in practice.
Man, oh man, we'll put a pin right there. That's fantastic, Florida State. Well done. And Miami almost did the same thing. More old school after the break.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
Patchy fog a possibility this morning, then this afternoon becoming partly cloudy with a high near 88. Winds out of the south at around 10. We'll see a slight chance of thunderstorms very late tonight with a low down to around 64. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow and cooler with a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket.
Liberty First Credit Union is here to help you save time and money. Get a consolidation loan and conveniently combine all of your loans into one, leaving you with one fixed payment and one low-rate loan. Not a member? That's okay. Join Liberty First Credit Union at any of the 4 Lincoln locations, Seward, and in Omaha at 108th and L Street. Start saving with Liberty First Credit Union. Apply for a consolidation loan now at libertyfirstcu.com today. Approval required. Equal opportunity lender. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose.
Last year, the average starting pay for an SEC truck driver training program graduate was $44,720. Southeast Community College can now make that a reality in only 8 weeks with its professional truck driver training class starting in October. SCC's fleet of 12 trucks and professional instructors will prepare you for a new career. You'll end the course with your Class A CDL. Learn more about SCC's professional truck driver training class at southeast.edu/truckdriver. SCC, your path to possible.
Experiencing increased body fat, low sex drive, lack of energy, or general fatigue? Vitalize Health offers testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy to boost hormone levels and build muscle mass. Call Vitalize Health today at 402-413-0717 or go online to vitalizehealthne.com. Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
Hi, this is Kurt, your shop manager at A1 Automotive here in downtown Lincoln. My promise to you is this: you won't find another automotive repair facility that genuinely cares about you and your vehicle. Our service is outstanding and our customer service is better. Please give me a call for all your automotive repair questions and needs. Call me at 402-477-4660. We were built on small town values, and that shows in how we treat others. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Want to get a hot and perfect body fast? It's so easy. All you have to do is eat lots of bananas, but peels only, and always be sweating, but never look sweaty. That's disgusting.
Don't follow extreme routines. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness. Now through September 16th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. And get back to a real routine with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join today for $1 down, $10 a month, and cancel anytime. Hurry, deal ends September 16th. See club for details.
This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Old School. Connor Happer went face to face with Samori Toure earlier today. We'll play that now.
Right here with Nebraska wide receiver Samori Toure, coming off of a pretty big game on Saturday. How does it feel to look at the stat line and see 2 catches for, 140 yards and 2 touchdowns? It's not bad.
Yeah, definitely not bad. Felt good. I just want to be able to make plays, whenever my number's called, and most importantly, get the win. And I was able to accomplish those things, so I'm happy.
Were there any similarities between the 2 plays where you got open?
They weren't really too similar. I mean, first play was a crossing route, got man coverage, and that's what I'm looking for. So that's the look we got all week in practice, and I knew it would be a big play when it came, and it did. Second play, kind of different because we set up the run a lot, with that motion. We were coming off the edge with that motion and blocking, and then finally come off the edge with it and took it deep, and they weren't expecting that, and that was a really good play call.
Is that something like you said, is that something where you guys set that up kind of for a while and then just wait for the moment to that was a first down play, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. And I don't even think necessarily we were setting that up. It was just like, okay, we happened to run that play a lot, and that was just Coach Frost, seeing the defense and it was also player feedback too, because we're coming back to the sideline saying, when we're coming up for that block, they're crashing down every time they're committing to the run. And then we tell him that, and he says, okay, then let's hit him over the top, one of those things.
When you see Oklahoma on the, even when I assume you see it on the schedule when you got here.
Yeah, definitely.
How much were you looking at that even in the process to decide to come here?
That was definitely something I was looking at. I saw that we played Oklahoma, and that was definitely one of the reasons why I came here. Not just that game, but the whole Big Ten schedule. Just a lot of big games throughout the stretch, and I wanted to play the best of the best. That's why I came here.
Do you guys feel more comfortable as a team than you did two weeks ago? I mean,
yeah.
It seems like you have that air to you guys right now.
Yeah, definitely. We definitely feel like it's all coming together. After week 1, we've just been getting better and better each week. And that's all you can hope for as a team, just to progress, whether even it's just a little bit, just to get better and better each week.
To come back off of that, off the Illinois game, like to have the response. I know it's been, different opponents, but what was that kind of week like and turning the page? And was it easy? Was it difficult?
I would say it was pretty easy just because the guys we have on this team, we have guys that are going to hold each other accountable. And we just had to have really dialed in weeks of practice. We had to have no mistakes, because mistakes are what got us beat in the first game. So, we knew that if we limit those, we're going to have a better chance to win our games, and that's what we've done so far.
So then going back to Oklahoma, you feel like maybe I don't want to put words in your mouth, but maybe you're just on a little bit more of a kind of steady footing going into this game, just confidence wise, even.
Yeah, definitely. I would say we're really confident as a team right now, and there's definitely still a lot of places where we have to improve, and we're going to try to work on that throughout the week and try to put our best foot forward on Saturday.
What do you see when you look at Oklahoma's defense?
A lot of speed and a lot of athleticism. A lot of playmakers on that defense. From the film I've watched so far, they play a lot of man, and as receivers, that's all you can ask for. Me versus you type thing. But yeah, they have a really talented defense, really talented team all around.
When you see that a lot of man on tape, I mean, like you said, as a wide receiver, you're gonna be kind of like, ooh, this is nice.
Yeah, that's what we look for, because it really just comes down to receiver versus DB, me versus you, and we like as a receiver, that's all you can ask for. And I'm sure if you ask them as DBs, that's what they want too. So why not do it?
Man to man.
Yeah.
Some of the other wide receivers have had injury issues over the last couple of weeks. I mean, just you kind of taking that. Have you taken a leadership kind of role in that room at all? Just you being the kind of consistent, mainstay there.
Yeah, I would say so. Just because, like you said, I've been pretty consistent. Ever since I got here, haven't missed practice. Haven't missed anything. And I'm someone who likes to lead by example. I'm gonna try to put my best foot forward every day at practice and in the game, and hopefully the guys rally around me.
How's the chemistry with? And you talked about it a lot over the summer and in fall camp, but just the chemistry with Adrian. How is that? And does it help to have a couple games of reinforcement now, actual game tape to go off of, that you guys have that connection together?
Yeah, definitely. But it's something that really didn't surprise us at all, because those connections were connections that we've been making throughout practice, fall camp and spring ball. So it's just doing what we do in practice in the game. It's something that's fun to see, but it's something that we weren't surprised by.
Big game this week. I'm super excited. That's
Yes,
Samari Toure, Nebraska wide receiver.
Good stuff from Connor Happer. And number 3. Well done, Mr. Toure. Throw to break. More Old School, top of the hour.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Early break with Sip and Jake.
Did you guys know that Creighton's never beaten Nebraska in volleyball?
They thought this is their best chance to beat Nebraska because Nebraska won in 5 sets against UNO last week. Oh, you got to be beatable today, right? No.
Mocking tones.
Yeah, it was mocking tones. That's right.
Mocking tones.
Creighton thinks they're all high and mighty. They can come in and beat Nebraska in their own area, and they got a taste of reality is what they got.
That's 20 straight that Nebraska has beaten Creighton.
Early break with Sip and Jake from 6 to 8 every weekday morning.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You could close out 2021 winning $2,022 and go on to win $1 million at the beginning of 2022 in the Nebraska Lottery's Powerball's Rockin' 15 promotion. Until September 25th, buy a Powerball with PowerPlay ticket and enter for a chance to be one of 15 lucky people to win $2,022 and a chance to win $1 million at the start of the new year. It's a promotion that truly rocks. Powerball top prize odds 1 in 292 million.
We're gonna eat pizza from Casey's and watch the football games. Yeah, enjoy the season with delicious Casey's pizza. 2 tasty pizzas for big game days.
Now at Casey's, you can get 2 large single-topping pizzas with delicious made-from-scratch dough for $9.99 each with promo code DOUBLE.
Casey's here for good. Yeah.
Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP will go 1-on-1 at 3 with Husker Online Sean Callahan, and Jay joins in from 4 to 6 to preview the Oklahoma game and more. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Want a free pair of Nebraska football tickets? Head to theticketfm.com's contest tab and register for a free pair of tickets each week of a home game, courtesy of Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of Woods Brothers and 93.7 The Ticket. We take our college football Saturdays so seriously at 93.7 The Ticket that one post-game show simply isn't enough. Join Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman and DP for The Ticket postgame. 90 minutes following each Nebraska game at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. They'll break down the game from their vantage point and bring in special guests as well, with giveaways to listeners who drop by. It's The Ticket postgame with Jay Foreman and DP at Tanner's Bar and Grill, sponsored by Action Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, and Vinny Krekak of State Farm Insurance. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. 93.7 The Ticket sports news go now.
I'm Enrique Alvarez-Clary. The Nebraska football team beat the Buffalo Bulls on Saturday 28-3 inside Memorial Stadium. Special team struggles appeared for the third straight week for the Huskers, leaving head coach Scott Frost scratching his head.
2 of our best players on our entire football team are Connor Cope and Cam Taylor-Britt. And Cam made a ton of good plays on defense. But, punt return bit us again. We got to scream and yell and get everybody away from that one. Not sure what's going on with Connor, but he'll get it fixed. I don't want it to turn into a mental thing for him. He's too talented.
Up next for Nebraska, the 50th anniversary of the game of the century and a trip down to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. Nebraska linebacker Luke Reimer was named the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Week today after finishing the game against Buffalo with 16 tackles and an interception, which he nearly returned for a touchdown. Reimer's 16 tackles are the most by a Husker since the 2015 season. Third-ranked Nebraska volleyball welcomed 20th-ranked Utah to Lincoln and dropped their first game of the year to the Utes. The Huskers took the first 2 sets 25-18 and 26-24, then dropped the following 3 27-25, 25-22, and 15-13. Nebraska was led by freshman Lindsey Krause, who finished with a season-best 15 kills while hitting .317, while Nicklin Hames posted her 5th straight double-double. Nebraska hits the road for the final time in non-conference play as they visit number 14 Stanford on Tuesday. And for all the latest sports news and updates, keep it tuned right here to 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. This is Old School, sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked up by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
My goodness gracious. 5 o'clock hour, Old School, 92.7 The Ticket. And theticketfm.com. You can follow us on the app. You can follow us on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. You can text in 464-5685 on the Starter Heyman text line and have at it. I'm in a John Wayne, Cowboys, Jebediah Nightlinger kind of mood. Just letting folks know. It's kind of how we're going to do it. Jay, you just went through a potential list of coaches for USC.
Right.
There was not a winner. There was not one that I thought was a natural fit for that in the bunch.
No, but that's USC though.
Right. Was
Clay Helton really a fit?
No.
They never really gave Ed Orgeron a chance, and he wins the national championship.
Mm-hmm.
They ran Lane out of there. I mean, probably rightfully so at that time.
Why? What did Lane do?
They was getting destroyed, right? Lane was balling too much.
What was wrong?
But they hired Lane, right?
Hmm?
I mean, when you have Bill O'Brien, I mean, that's just not even a USC fit. I think he's probably a little bit too. He's just not hip enough and can't be hip.
He will turn them into Cal State Fullerton
quick. So Bill O'Brien, isn't it? They had James Franklin.
No.
He's
Urkel cannot be.
He's probably like young enough and hip enough.
Is he hip enough? Is James Franklin hip? Since when?
Yeah, he's probably not hip like if you're talking to him, but I think he can fake it enough to fool people. I just don't think he's a good fit.
Yeah.
Who else was there?
Tony
Elliott. I could see him doing it just because
Greg Schiano.
Because I think that he would be an under the radar type of fit. Greg Schiano would be a great fit coaching wise, personality wise, definitely not. Too like hard nosed
Fleck.
And PJ Fleck, no.
Mario Cristobal.
Just imagine PJ Fleck talking to Snoop. Snoop at practice, and here comes PJ Fleck. He's like, and PJ is like, "Hey Snoop, my name is Elite." Snoop would be like, "Man, get out of my face." Mario Cristobal, he's already kind of like built Oregon up to the point that where they're a national like presence now. It's a good fit for him up there. They give him a ton of support. It looks like to come to USC and deal with some of the politics probably wouldn't be as appealing unless they just made it, undeniable with the checkbook.
I like just for simplicity's sake. There's nobody else on that staff. Nick, give me a roll call of the coaches on the USC staff currently.
Well,
they already did that though with Clay Helton, right?
Yeah, I was looking at more into Dante Williams specifically. He was promoted to the associate head coach in December. And then
based off of recruiting prowess though.
Yeah, he's one here. Let me go to I found the article. 1 second. I got out of it.
Yeah, I was trying to understand what like, and it was a loss to Stanford. This is a USC team with talent. Like they had a nice recruiting class, and they thought they had some talent coming back. Like I guess I need to ask Marquis Stepp what's going on at USC. He may have some answers.
He said there's a whole bunch of funny business. Wow. But it didn't help that Matt Leinart tweeted out, "This isn't how it used to be or should be when there was nobody in the stands." See, it's bigger than the loss. When you don't have butts in the stands and you don't have the support of the fan base, that's bigger or just as big as a win and loss, when it wins and losses.
And that's a fan base. I mean, that's LA.
But it's a fickle fan base. And do not think that the fact that UCLA stomped a mud hole in LSU and then doubled down and played pretty decent this week didn't play a factor.
Okay, fair.
And they have a bigger presence personality-wise as a head coach just across the way of LA. They're probably thinking like, we need to fire this dude and make a splash. The problem is they haven't secured the rock to make the splash when you throw it in the water. So I don't know what they're going to do.
Okay.
It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah,
they're obviously going to take their time because they're letting Dante Williams be the head coach for the rest of the season. It's only week 2. That's a long time to have a guy be the interim head coach to go recruit.
But you're waving the flag.
You're waving the flag on this. But you got to think official visits, on-campus visits.
Right.
Just imagine if you're from California, you're a 4-star recruit, right? Or even a 3-star recruit. And they're like, okay, this dude's going to be the head coach for the rest of the year. Why would you even go on a visit there? Why would you even have them in your top 5 or top 10 or 8?
There's a little quick list here of Dante Williams's credits here. Ranked as the top recruiter in the Pac-12 in 2020 and 2021, is ranked number 1 in the nation for the 2022 cycle. Under Williams, the USC allowed just 216 passing yards per game, its lowest number since 2013. Like I already said, promoted to associate head coach after last season. He's the highest paid non-coordinator in the nation. And then they go back to Oregon in 2018 after he left Nebraska. His cornerback group contributed to the Ducks posting 20 interceptions in one season. Is he a possible for the actual job?
No.
I can't imagine that to be true because, I mean, Graham Harrell is there as the OC. Todd Orlando, the linebackers coach. Is
Sean Snyder.
Right, yeah. Well, I burped in my mouth a little bit.
Yeah.
Just at the thought of that. And then when you look at the rest of this coaching roster, I'm not particularly CJ Ayu's on that staff. Wow. No, there's not anybody I would lean to and go, wow, this is the answer. This is the answer. USC is going to have to rebuild this thing, aren't they?
Not as bad because they've had a couple, good recruiting classes the last couple of years.
Okay, all right. Yeah, we went through the last week. We went through your picks. You kind of gave us your insight. The story the game I want to talk about, Ohio State and Oregon. How do we land on that? Is CJ Stroud I thought Stroud played well.
He played good enough to win. The problem with Ohio State, like I said previously and weeks prior, is their linebacker play. It was atrocious. It was both players and coaches because Oregon scored 24 points off of one play.
Yes. Yeah.
Essentially, you could banjo that. So for you people out there and women football 101, banjo is essentially 2-on-2, and you essentially play in and out coverage. So if a back is offset to the tight end and say DP has the tight end, we could say banjo and we'll yell switch or whatever the call is. I'll end up with the tight end. DP will have the running back into the flat or a wheel route or so forth and so on.
Stay on your string is the way
whatever you want to call it. This is stuff that high school kids do. And to be honest with you, there's middle school kids, and I've seen it as much as low as 6th grade kids do. They scored 24 points on one play and had numerous explosive plays off of in and out coverage. Okay, so now everybody's like, okay, well, it's the coaching. It's the defensive coordinator, who I like, right? The defense was excellent last year. So it's the same coordinator. Now, I know Cardell Jones said that the funny thing is well, you got 49 checks and you played 75 players.
Yeah.
I get it. There was a lot of players. I get it, right?
That's funny.
But at the end of the day, they were running man-to-man coverage. The first time, you got me. Well, they say shame on you. Second time, shame on me. Third, fourth time, we just flat out being stupid. Because at the end of the day, if Nick is the defensive coordinator and me and DP are out there and they're coming in an offset formation or we're playing, combo coverage on 2 and 3, it doesn't matter if he's offset, a wing formation. You can get to the same play in different formations. It's up to me and DP to figure it out. And here's even the worst part. Even though Ohio State lost all 3 of their linebackers to the NFL last year, and they were really excellent, and they started, on an average, probably 2 or 3 years, the guys that were getting beat yesterday are sophomores and juniors in the program.
Mm-hmm.
So they've been in those meetings. They probably played more than even comparable to the linebackers that we have at Nebraska, because Ohio State was beating teams by so much that those guys got reps, and you were getting all the reps through spring, through fall off-season workouts, through fall camp, 2-a-days, and all that. And Oregon's been running this route. So that's where it happened. In Oregon's offensive line, with the offensive line head coach, was excellent, and it has been excellent. Then conversely, their defensive line was, because their defensive line has been going against a good offensive line, a well-coached offensive line. So they were able to control Ohio State from a pass rush standpoint. They were able to run the ball effectively enough to keep them off their, keep them on their heels. And they just kept running an in and out route, and Ohio State just kept getting beat on it.
Can you?
It was so bad. I was like, I can't watch this anymore.
Oh, I watched to the end because it was fascinating. I kept waiting for
you kept waiting for them to actually make it right. And they kept doubling down, we're going to continue to get beat by this. Sooner or later, I remember it to this day. Nebraska was up at Ohio State, and they kept running actually the in and out route, and the tight end kept running a seven cut. And it was when Nebraska's maybe first year, because Bo and those guys were there, and they hit it on them 3 or 4 times. Sooner, you got to come to the sideline, but look, man, we got to fix. Me and you have to fix it.
Yeah, we can't wait on them.
Coaching aside.
Yeah.
Because the only thing they can go off of what you tell them, and then once we make it right, we got to go tell them this is how we played this.
And sometimes they just don't know.
Yeah, because they're at field level and they're not out there playing. It was bad. Ohio State's offense didn't look very good. Looked a little off. I think Oregon being able to compete with them athlete wise was a big deal for them.
Let me ask you a question without finger pointing at the local program. Is there value in an offensive line coach being upstairs so he can see wins versus losses?
Oh, I don't know about that. I think it's
like you've been on the sideline.
I don't think it really matters. I don't really think it matters. There's some guys that see it better down on the side. You can see stuff on the sideline. You can see stuff up there. I don't think it really matters.
And the conversation you said, there are times when players go to the sideline and say, okay, we got to fix it. Like, we have to fix it. They can't fix it. We need to fix it. What happens when that happens? What happens? What's the natural engagement? Players or a group, let's say a group of linebackers get in and say, listen, you know what? Our fits are a little bit off. We can adjust to this.
Well, ideally, you'd like to have the guys that aren't in the game conversing with the guys that are in the game, because ultimately you need to do what's best for the team. So you come over and you converse, like, what'd you see? What was the calls? Blah, blah, blah. So everybody's truly engaged in the game, and you make adjustments. But at the end of the day, if I'm a linebacker at Ohio State, I'm saying WTF is going on.
Mm-hmm.
This is how we're going to fix it. What are you seeing versus what the call is? Next time we get in the call, this is how we're going to play this. So be ready for it. Ideally, you'd like that adjustment to come from inside out, right? Inside linebacker talking to the outside guy, whether it's base defense or nickel, because when they go nickel, it's just taking a linebacker out, putting a safety or whatever the DB is, so it's no different. And so that's what you're trying to do. You have to alert it. You have to be ready for it. They were running it in the red zone. They kept running it, waiting for Ohio State to make an adjustment, and then they didn't make any adjustments.
Is that
which is odd, because Ohio State has been money on adjustments in the Big Ten for years.
Well, they had so much talent. Like, you had, sometimes your talent gets you through, right?
Well, sure, but they're well coached with talent, though. They've made numerous adjustments in huge games, bigger games than against Oregon, year in and year out. So they just got beat physically. They got beat mentally. And in some ways, you could say they got outcoached.
Okay.
In some ways.
Well, they'll adjust. Let's go to the Honda Lincoln Hotline. Brandon has a question for us. Brandon, what's happening?
Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Good.
One thing, and then I'll get to my question. The one thing that I was surprised with Ohio State and on the defensive end was that those Oregon wide receivers would come down and hit those linebackers on those left run plays. And their running back, that Verdell, was not a small guy. But he could book it out there around the corner and get outside and run it in for the touchdown. And you would have thought that those linebackers would have realized that, hey, I'm crashing in, but I'm also going to get picked off on the outside by the wide receiver and be out of the play. They didn't learn from their mistakes over and over again. My main question that I have for you, Jay, is if you're Scott Frost and you're heading down to Norman this weekend and you win the toss, do you receive or do you defer to the second half? And then secondly, do you think that our defense just needs to come out and lay into Oklahoma and say, hey, we're here to play ball, bring it on?
I don't know. If I'm Scott Frost, I don't know what I'm going to do. That's just his choice. If I'm a defensive guy, of course I always want to be out there, but I think it's just, a lot of the stuff that goes into that is, like, for instance, Saturday, right? The wind, whether you had the wind behind you or not, that plays into it, right? So all that stuff goes into it. You go into it, the matchups. Where do you feel you might have an advantage or can start the game off with ahead or a faster pace? That goes into it as well. So I can't really answer that, but I definitely have the utmost confidence in the team and the defense in particular to go and show well. People can think like, oh, well, you got to come up with a magic formula or we need to come up with a new game plan. Ultimately, if you just go out there and play all three phases to the best of your capabilities and prepare the right way, and you're preparing for an excellent team. Let me say this, but you also have to prepare to go and play your best game and I would say beat yourself before you can go beat Oklahoma. Beating yourself in this sense is, fundamentals in check, game plan in check, execution at the highest it can be, and then go see where you're at, right? You're not going to beat a well-coached team like Oklahoma with an extreme amount of talent, a good quarterback, and a plethora of wide receivers on the road, shooting yourself in the foot. And I always say showing up to a prize fight against Mike Tyson, and you punch yourself in your face for a couple rounds and think you're going to beat him or knock him out. So Nebraska's got to do what they need to do, and which is obviously get prepared and then go out there and play them. Look, I'm going to say this. I made the comparison, and I'm going to see how I can kind of white glove this thing for this analogy. Sometimes, and I've been this. Sometimes you go against players or teams that have been built up so much that you're out there playing, and then it might be the second or third quarter. You'd be like, you know what, he's good, but he's not that good, right? So analogy would be like you start dating someone you think is going to be all that, and then it's not.
But how often is Nebraska going to take the field and feel like the person they line up against is better or worse than them? That should be a constant. That Nebraska feels competent and able to compete.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that, but you're
series one.
You're essentially saying that same thing though. So that's what I'm saying. Don't go down there and think you're playing against the 85 Bears or the Cowboys or whatever. They're a good team. I mean, they're good and they got athletes X, Y, and Z. But that's going to be essentially every single week. You can't go down. If you go down there and play your best and you get beat, then you can kind of deal with that. Then you got to adjust. Maybe we need to do this to be more unbeatable X, Y, and Z. But if you go down there and essentially lose, and losing is don't give yourself the best chance to win, then that's the thing that where you got to go back and really look at some stuff. So no, Nebraska should never get out. They're never going to get off the bus and be playing in fear. That's what you're essentially saying the same thing. Sometimes, especially early in the season, you see these teams ranked, and where they're ranked at the beginning of the season may not be where they end up, and let alone you're not too far off, or you need to be playing like you're playing against a superior opponent. They put on their shoes. Well, they don't wear jock straps anymore, so where they wear girdles or whatever, just like you get inside the white lines, it doesn't really matter. There's always that quote from Lawrence
What do you
Taylor.
mean they're not wearing jock straps anymore?
I think they wear like girdles. They don't wear jock. You don't see anybody. They wear like biker shorts. I don't even know what you call them. They don't wear. I don't see any jock straps anymore.
Compression shorts.
Compression shorts.
Well, I hate the compression shorts, but you still don't wear a cup. Like in this day and age, are they wearing cups?
No, I ain't never wear a cup and when I played football. You know what I'm saying?
That explains a lot about you.
Man, I needed as much free will.
See, you just giving me some clarity.
Now, there's been a couple times where I got grazed and that stuff hurt, and I was out there hurting.
Right? Like, what?
And then it was like, man, maybe I should, but I was like, you know what? That's just a once in a kind of like year type of deal, so you just deal with it. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is, you just can't. You just got to go out there and play your game. I mean, play to win. I mean, you're listen here, man. You're going out there. You're like, yeah, you're going to be an underdog. Well, then you got nothing to lose.
But so the teams know who they are now, right? Like Nebraska knows who they are. Oklahoma knows who they are.
Not necessarily. Teams don't know who they are until they really get in the middle of the season.
Okay.
But you can go out there and play. I mean, you shouldn't be lining up out there and be thinking like, oh man, I'm going up against like Randy Moss or nothing.
It's Oklahoma, and they're beatable. I mean, look,
Oklahoma has gotten beat by lesser teams. Ohio State has gotten beat by lesser teams. You go out there and play the right way, you can beat anybody. So it's not even about that. And then so Nebraska's not. It's not when Scott took over and these guys were, 20, 30 pounds out overweight and, 25% body fat and all this other stuff at the skill position. These guys are ready to go or will be ready to go. And they just got to go out there and execute. Now, the hard thing to do is doing it under, extreme duress and pressure. But that's what you shouldn't come to Nebraska. Nobody's coming to Nebraska to play Fordham. If you're trying to play Fordham all the time, then you need to go to whoever Fordham plays, William and Mary. You're coming to Nebraska. These are big games. This is what you get recruited for. This is what you sell. Opportunity, it's a tremendous opportunity. I got to play Oklahoma all the time because they were in our deal, but these guys aren't. They're so there's this is why you wear the Nebraska uniform, and this is why you want to be a part of something that's going to be turning the program around. So it's just going to come down to execution, like it does every single week. It does.
Wet Blanket says this. It says, after being physically manhandled by Illinois, being unable to physically dominate Buffalo on the offensive line of scrimmage, and repeatedly underperforming on special teams, how do you honestly feel like you were as good as a top 5 team, aka Oklahoma? I'll say this, and before you respond to it, I'll say this. This is a team that needed a hiccup and a bad decision to beat Tulsa.
That was you talking about?
Does that make
you talking about Oklahoma?
Yeah,
that was
Tulane.
Tulane.
Does that make Tulane the number 6 team in the country? No. What it means is Oklahoma's flawed. We can go through and do this dance with Oklahoma as far as talent, how they line up, what they do well, what they don't do well. Look, they're got like their own issues.
They're like every other team out there. If you go out there and kind of lay down, they're going to boat race you. Now, okay, physically manhandled against Illinois and Buffalo. Buffalo and Illinois are the same team. They sold out to stop the run. What I mean by this is a Wet Blanket.
Yeah.
Okay, so Wet Blanket. That's an interesting name.
Oh, he'll tell the story later.
No thanks. But anyways, so what teams do when they're trying to sell out against a run, they aren't playing play action pass. They are essentially run blitzing a high percentage of the time. So it's hard to have running success. We said this the other time. The offensive line can block better, stay on their blocks when they get them to have better success. And so that's where it goes. And then the passes that were open against Illinois, they hit against Buffalo. Illinois Super Bowl was Nebraska. You've seen that. Obviously, they didn't have consistency. So it's easier to get up for one game versus get up for games, period. Especially when it's the first game. They've watched more tape on Nebraska than they're going to watch on any opponent. They're able to have a unique game plan for Nebraska versus any opponent because they don't have the time. Now that doesn't make the loss or how the Nebraska played any better. That's just obviously I'm just giving you the reality of it. And the reality is Nebraska lost that game versus getting beat by a better team. So how can they go on the road and play against Oklahoma? Go play up to execute at the highest level that they're capable at the capable level that they can from a physical standpoint and a mental standpoint. Don't shoot themselves in the foot. It's a different ball game that you're thinking of. Tulane showed you it's the first game of the season. So you're trying to tell me Oklahoma didn't come out ready to play? If Oklahoma is starting off at top 3 or top 2, they're thinking national championship. They don't have time or the opponents on their schedule to go out there against Tulane and have a hiccup because the Big 12 isn't respected. So from game 1 to 12 in the Big 12 championship game, Oklahoma has to be on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep, the entire season, every game.
Yes, because they're not playing, like Ohio State. They're not, even though they lost, they're going to play against ranked teams, Penn State, Wisconsin, Iowa, and who else? Say Michigan State, Michigan. They're going to play all these guys. So they got teams to kind of boost up their resume. Who does Oklahoma have? Who are you going to play in Bedlam?
Let's see. Well, they played who's
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
late in the year though.
So they I mean, let's give credit. Oklahoma played Western Carolina.
No, I'm saying throughout their whole schedule.
Well, you look at it: Kansas State, West Virginia, Nebraska, Oklahoma itself, TCU, Texas Tech, Kansas, Baylor, Iowa State, Oklahoma State.
Okay, Iowa State,
Oklahoma
State because it's Bedlam. That's what I'm saying. So they
and they know that they need to show out. Like
Right.
Oklahoma knows.
So that's what I'm saying. So Tulane is just come in there and shoot their shot, and Nebraska needs to go in there and handle their business.
This one's gettable. That's what I'm going to say.
Right,
This
it's
one's-
gettable.
this
But
one's-
the hard thing is when they're gettable is you got to go get the guy. You got to go. There's an old saying, Mr. Nick. You know what I'm saying? You got to go get it and come back with it. Can
the
you
gat.
say that? No, you got to go get it and come back with it.
Got to go with it. Got to go get it and come back with it.
Yes.
That is so funny. All right, we'll throw the break. Old school more.
Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Lay the groundwork for more harvesting capacity when you order a new John Deere combine during Landmark Implement's early order program. Whether you're looking to improve your existing combine or you've been wanting to update to a new model year, now is the time to upgrade. Get the very latest harvesting equipment and technology that fit your operations needs, then get it ordered. You can get your new John Deere combine built just the way you want. Contact your local Landmark Implement for full details and experience the Landmark difference.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday. You lost Wednesday. You're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation and offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
Hi, Sean Callahan here. In 2013, I first came across Koppel Chevrolet GMC in Louisville, and I've been a customer ever since. What's kept me coming back to Koppel is the people. Oftentimes, owner Bob Koppel and his son Brandon are right there with you in the showroom, walking you through the process. There's no runaround at Koppel. It's a hardworking Nebraska company built on honest, small-town values. So make that short drive to Louisville or visit them online at koppelcars.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Patchy fog a possibility this morning, then this afternoon becoming partly cloudy with a high near 88. Winds out of the south at around 10. We'll see a slight chance of thunderstorms very late tonight with a low down to around 64. A slight chance of showers and thunderstorms tomorrow and cooler with a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef is Lincoln's newest full-service butcher shop, offering premium fresh-cut steaks and house-made sausages daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They exclusively carry certified Piedmontese beef raised right here in Nebraska. When shopping at the Mercado, you're not only supporting local, but also enjoying the official beef of Nebraska Athletics. With prime-grade tenderness and unparalleled nutritionals, your backyard barbecue is about to get a serious upgrade. Stop into the Mercado today, located off 84th and Havelock in Lincoln.
When the clock strikes 0 after every Nebraska football game, there's only one place to go for instant coverage. Tune in for the Husker After Party postgame show on 93.7 The Ticket. Each game, win or lose. Call in with all your takes or text the show at 464-5685 and hear quotes from the team and coaches too. It's the Husker After Party postgame show, sponsored by Southeast Community College and M Street Drive-In.
Tailgating is back, and Sauter Heyman Jewelers is offering a deal that'll really fire you up. Receive a free Traeger grill with a purchase of $2,500 or more. Take advantage of interest-free financing with no money down. Sutter Heyman has dazzling jewelry in every price range. So buy her the diamonds she's been dreaming of and get instantly rewarded with a free Traeger grill. Offer ends soon, so hurry in and get them while they're hot. Sutter Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Wakey, wakey, new breakfast at Casey's.
Wakey, wakey, new breakfast at Casey's. Do-do-do-do-do.
Wakey, wakey, breakfast, Casey's.
Casey's new breakfast, featuring delicious handmade sandwiches like this signature handheld made with our fresh made-from-scratch dough. Buy any hot breakfast item and get a coffee for just $1. Casey's, here for good.
Back to Old School with DP and J, presented by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese.
We want to thank you folks on the Sutter Heyman text line. Wet Blanket, you know your family, so don't apologize. No, we absolutely get what you're saying, and we're just being conversational. Somebody asked, did we mention Clay Helton? Yes, we mentioned that he was fired. And they just did a letter, man. They just
via memo.
Yeah, like he.
Hey, you know, those are the type of memos you get, man. Like, hey, listen here, man. Make sure you refill the toilet paper in the bathroom.
Right. Right. Like on your way out. It's like, hey, let me check your bag before you leave.
Yeah.
Like they're not letting him leave just because. That's just terrible. It's just terrible.
Now, if you're a coach potentially getting hired by USC. And you've seen one coach get fired on the tarmac, regardless of what the reason was, right? And another coach get fired via email or that might have been a fax mail, right? A press release.
Yeah, back in the day, that's how you got fired.
Would that scare you off?
No, because the money's good.
So the money's worth it.
What we've now figured out is that there are very few coaches who coach for the sake of coaching.
That's true,
especially on the college level,
right?
In a lot of cases, on the high school level, that folks aren't coaching. I know folks in Texas. The guy at my school, the head coach, the varsity football coach, made $130,000 a year just coaching. So there are a lot of decisions. There are business decisions being made.
Sure.
Now, what you find out is that coaches all have their number. They all have a number that moves them, whether it's from one position, one school to another.
Right.
Like that thing exists until you have your number, which is, some cases it's 30 million in the bank, 40 million in the bank, whatever.
Right.
Like Urban had his number until somebody says, what's it going to take to get you to Jacksonville?
And he said everything.
Well, no, I mean, he actually had a number.
I know, but he wanted total control.
Well,
he fired the janitor.
Yeah, I mean, well,
he said you ain't clean up right, so these boys is horrible. He fired the janitor.
No, because janitors. Okay, so let's tell a secret. Let's tell a real. So I've been a part of 3 NFL teams, and what you will find out is that for leaks and secrets, you know who knows? You know who knows all the things that go on in a football team? The janitor and the trainer.
Equipment dude, yeah.
The trainer. The equipment dude is in everything. Like he's literally in everything. But the trainer knows the secrets. And then the janitor, because the janitor is in spaces where people don't even see him in those spaces. And he's got his hands on files. He's got his hands on paper. He's outside the door. And he's picking up trash when conversations are going on the phone.
Right.
And if you do not trust those people, your organization will fail.
Right.
Like I can tell you that in my hometown, the janitors and trainers knew everything. And that's how a lot of the stuff got fixed. That's how it got fixed. Because those people told the truth.
Right.
So if I'm Urban Meyer and I'm doing right, I'm not worried about the janitor. If I'm Urban Meyer and I'm doing wrong, I'm worried about the janitor.
Right.
I'm worried about it. So, you have a number. that if somebody put it on a piece of paper and slid it across the table, you would go coach almost anywhere if that number was on the paper.
Right.
That's a simple truth. This applies for them as well.
I know that.
And USC has a number, right?
But coaches talk though.
Yeah, I would.
Coaches talk, and they know that if you're a good enough coach, you're going to get opportunity. So if the numbers are somewhat in the range, you're going to turn your nose up or turn USC down. I mean, Chris Peterson's turned USC down 3 times. 3. He has a number. There's a reason why he's turned down USC. So everybody does have a number, but if there's other numbers out there that are comparable with less BS, the coaches talk. They see how you treat other coaches.
So what's the most BS job in the country? What's the one that coaches talk the most and go, nah, dog, we don't go.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, probably the Cowboys.
Right?
I mean, you go to the Cowboys, you know you ain't coaching and you ain't picking none of your players.
Right.
And just imagine being the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones is like, you know what, this is a coach, this is, and your offensive coordinator by nature.
Yeah.
But he's like, you got to keep this dude.
And you got to eat all the lunches, all the burgers he want to eat.
Eat all the burgers, yeah. And you got one of the best running backs in the NFL, and he only going to give the ball to him 8 times.
Can you explain that to me? Like what?
He threw the ball 50-something times.
Like he does know that Zeke's on his team,
and that's
right?
great that you put up numbers, and they always talking about, oh, he's the next up and coming guru, because you putting up dumb numbers.
Like that made no sense. There's literally no team in the league that had Zeke Elliott as a running back who would give him the ball 8 times in a game, unless Zeke said, "I only got 8 carries in me today," which is a whole nother discussion.
It's the dumbest thing ever. But he's going to have a whole bunch of numbers. Dallas Cowboys offense is going to be ranked, at the end of the season, top whatever.
Yeah,
and still don't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
What an extremely talented roster.
They're loaded.
They're loaded.
I don't like them.
They're the best looking. They might be one of the best looking teams getting off the bus. And the offensive numbers and the idea or ideology of the offense is going to handicap them from actually winning the NFC East, which is obviously huge for them, and making the playoffs. I mean, if things don't change,
it should be them in Tampa in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, because they've got everything that they. I mean, that was a great game. Dallas was able to compete, but the fact that you didn't know that the best way to beat Tom Brady is have Tom Brady sitting over there on the bench, not continue to throw the ball for a ton of yardage
and give it back to him.
But then give it back to him after Tampa has 4 turnovers and you still lost the game, and he still got the ball with 2 minutes left. It'd been great just to run that clock out.
Who do you have tonight? Baltimore and the Raiders.
Man, I mean, Baltimore is banged up.
They still got their best runner. They're okay.
Well, yeah, their quarterback's their best runner. But they're banged up, though.
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah.
But the Ravens have a defense that's going to keep it close. But the Raiders, and just from talking to my mom, Las Vegas is going to be off the charts tonight.
Yeah.
Which will lead them to play a lot better than they actually are. It's the first game of the season.
But they haven't been separated from the fans. Like, there's a lot of responsibility for the first home game.
They played in front of nobody last year, though.
With fans in Vegas on Monday Night Football. Like, that's a lot, right?
It's gonna be out of control.
I mean,
home game, fans there. Baltimore going all the way across the country. Depleted roster. I mean, lost their best corner. Lost all their running backs. They're one of the receivers from Minnesota. He's done, or not done, but he's on injury reserve to like week 6 or 8. Bateman. They don't have. I mean, they traded one of their tight ends down to Atlanta. The smart person would be like, I think Harbaugh is a better coach than Gruden right now. And the Raiders are the Raiders. They're just gonna have a ton of penalties and just place to. But things have the thing about playing in that first game, and like I said, the Raiders are going to be the best prepared for this game than any other game.
Yeah.
Because they've watched the most tape, they've had the most time to study. Instead of watching, 3 days of tape, you've watched 3 months of tape, or maybe even more. I'm still going with Baltimore. Maryland Blue Crabs, Baltimore Bay. The Ravens still got a little bit more edge than the Raiders. I think the Raiders have talent. I like Carr as a quarterback. Jacobs, Waller, I think is probably.
Wait, Jacobs is out tonight, right?
Is he out? Okay,
Yeah.
Jay's out, but
He's playing.
Yeah, I thought he was
he's
playing.
good to play. They just announced it.
And
today.
Waller is one of the top 2 tight ends, if not the best tight end. They have no receivers.
Mm.
But so I think the Raiders defense is just
Nick, who you got tonight?
I think the Raiders.
Okay.
I think I'm taking the Raiders.
Okay, all right.
So if the Raiders win, are you going to start playing that the Autumn's win thing? That might be one of the best NFL songs ever.
Yeah. We need
Who you got?
We need to. I'll tell them after the break.
Look at your boy behind you though.
Close
Look
the
at him.
show.
Look at him though.
Look at him. Life is good.
Look at him.
Life is
Just-
good.
Indiana Wesleyan.
Look at he's so funny.
That fool,
Big Sky is
that fool
just-
said I was on Tinder and on ChristianMingle.com.
Big Sky with.
He said I got the market corner.
Farmers only.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, we'll close it out and get you guys ready for Nicole Griffin after the break.
You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
Yeah, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, anything, you need to tell an adult, someone you know and trust. That can be hard, but speaking up about a problem is what helping a friend is all about.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
Sponsored by DHHS and aired in cooperation with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Keep your home comfort system running efficiently with ESP from Bryant. Get total system checks twice each year and never pay overtime on service calls. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
Tailgating is back, and Sartor Heyman Jewelers is offering a deal that'll really fire you up. Receive a free Traeger grill with a purchase of $2,500 or more. Take advantage of interest-free financing with no money down. Sartor Heyman has dazzling jewelry in every price range, so buy her the diamonds she's been dreaming of and get instantly rewarded with a free Traeger grill. Offer ends soon, so hurry in and get them while they're hot. Sartor Heyman Jewelers, a Nebraska tradition since 1905.
Another packed fall sports season means it's time to get to N Street Drive-In to fill up on all your beverage needs. Right now, they have tons of Oktoberfest beers, and you can check out their new Empyrean, New Belgium, and Prost selections as their beers of the month. Also, make sure to download the new N Street Drive-In app to order online and to set up delivery right to your front door. And don't forget their top-notch Crowler fill system. N Street Drive-In, your one-stop beverage shop at 1801 Oak Street. Tractor Supply Distribution Center in Waverly is now hiring for all shifts. They're a 24/7 facility and a clean environment to work in. There's potential to earn up to $25.25 per hour with opportunities for overtime. They also offer a retention bonus as new team members are eligible for a bonus as high as $1,000. Come be a part of the Tractor Supply team. Apply today at www.tractorsupply.jobs.
Building a house today is completely different than it was a year ago. It's great. It's a great time to build a house.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
Interest rates are fantastic. Our lot selection is fantastic. Being a large volume builder like we are, we tend to get very good discounts from our suppliers, which has been very helpful. So if you want to build right now, it's a great time to call, make an appointment, set a budget, sign a contract. You're locked in. I'm locked in. Let's figure out your location. Let's get that lot reserved. It allows you then to have some freedom and room to sell your home for a great profit. In the end, it's going to be a win-win for you.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Century Electric is now hiring for experienced licensed electricians. This position will serve around the Lincoln area on both commercial and residential jobs. Century Electric is well established with 40 years in operation and offers a substantial hiring bonus as well as tons of benefits. For more information or to apply, go online to centuryelectric.com and click the careers tab or call them at 402-467-5550. Come work for a great company today with Century Electric, whose commitment is always to their customers.
Join DP and Jay Foreman on Wednesday at Tanner's Bar and Grill at 30th and Yankee Hill. DP will go 1-on-1 at 3 with Husker Online Sean Callahan, and Jay joins in from 4 to 6 to preview the Oklahoma game and more. That's all this Wednesday at Tanner's at 30th and Yankee Hill.
Back to Old School with DP and Jay on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We got about 4.5 minutes to close out. Let's bring in the legend, the myth. Let's bring in Big Sky, personality bigger than the room. How are you, kind sir?
I'm doing well. Had a good day. Ate some pasta about an hour ago. It was quite tasty.
From where? Where'd you get it?
My kitchen. I made
you carbing up, man. You got a big game.
I'm not carbing up. I love spaghetti is probably my favorite food, and
I'm with you on that.
And so I last Friday I was like, you know what, I want spaghetti. I didn't do a good job last time with the noodle to sauce ratio, and I was like, I need to do better this time. Decided to go really outside the box, go with pink sauce this time.
No.
So I made it with pink sauce and Italian sausage.
Pink sauce, why?
Because I had never made it myself,
Okay.
and I'd only ever had it one time before, so I was just like, let's give it another try.
What's the proper sauce to noodle ratio?
So I only did 1 jar of tomato sauce originally,
Uh-huh.
and I made a full pack of noodles, a whole full pound of noodles,
Uh-huh.
and that was probably twice as many noodles as I needed. So it was really dry spaghetti.
Okay. And then
do you put meat in yours?
I usually, if I'm feeling like really going the extra mile, I'll put Italian sausage in. If I'm not, I'll just buy the meat sauce. So yeah, there's probably going to be meat in it.
So you only like Italian sausage in yours?
No, that's my meat of choice in my spaghetti.
Okay.
My mom does ground beef though. That's like, yeah.
And you don't follow mom's rules when it comes to cooking, like you.
I usually do. Like with the stew.
Yeah.
Absolutely going to follow what my mom does, but I have some different tastes than my mom. She's not a big Italian sausage fan, so.
Okay, so take me through the stew. Walk us through it.
Oh, the stew. Okay.
Yeah.
It's really easy.
Okay.
I've only made it one time.
Okay.
By myself. I'll pull up the recipe so I can get it perfectly.
I knew that you would.
This is a Petrick family. This is a Sky family dish.
Okay.
We had this routinely growing up.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it in time.
All right. Yeah, first he calls it a stew, which means substance. Like to me, that's just not a concoction. That's actually a meal.
All right, so the very first thing is you need it. It's in a crock pot. That's what it's made. That's why I chose it, because it's a set it and forget it meal. You just put everything in and you walk away.
Okay.
So you do a can or 2 of petite diced tomatoes, half to a full pound of cooked ground beef,
Okay.
can of corn, can of pinto beans, half a cup to a full cup of salsa, half a cup to a full cup of water. You do this as much as you need.
Okay.
And then black pepper, garlic salt, and then cumin.
And there's no measuring to any of it.
To the seasonings?
Like to any of it. Like you
No, there is.
Okay. So other than the cans of diced tomato, everything else is just kind of like to add to
It's at a half cup to a cup of salsa.
Okay.
And then a half cup to a cup of water. That one's kind of just like feel it out, because some people like that stew thicker and some people like it a little bit more runny.
Well, shouldn't the stew be thick? Like in that part of the
That's what makes
It's supposed to be like a hearty meal, right?
My brother doesn't like tomatoes, so growing up he liked it a little bit runnier to dilute the tomato taste
So
a
he
little
liked
bit.
soup. He wanted soup.
Oh yeah, he loves soup.
Okay.
I like it a little bit thicker.
Jay, does that sound like you? Are we willing to
It
try?
sounds like you need to make it and bring it in. It needs to be
All right.
that sounds like a cold meal though when it's
All
cold outside, right?
It was usually it was a hockey season meal.
Yeah.
Are you willing to share this concoction?
Yeah, all I need is a crock pot and all the ingredients. It's a really simple thing to make.
Do you have a crock pot?
I do have a crock pot.
Is it good?
Oh, I love it. It's
Do
a top 5.
Do other people like it?
Everybody else in my family asked my mom for the recipe, And
what about people that aren't in your family?
We had my brother's friend really liked to come over whenever we would have it. So it's been well tested. The only person that doesn't like it is my brother.
Nick, are you prepared? You prepared to go down this?
Nick, do you know how to cook?
I do. I really enjoy cooking and bacon.
This is what I'm going to ask you two guys, man.
I really enjoy.
You know, with pork prices being extremely high, right? Do you guys like chitlins?
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, you're stupid. You're so stupid. You're so stupid.
Oh man, I can't help myself, man.
There's zero chance. Big Scott.
Hey, Nick, do you like chitlins?
No.
But let me tell you, Jay, I have a guy that works at a pork plant. Get you the stuff in bulk for a very cheap price. If
Nick's got a pork
I'm down with it.
Nick's got a
He's got
pork
a pork guy. He's got a pork guy.
I'm telling you, work at Smithfield and Crete, man. I got a guy.
Yeah, all right. I'm gonna hit you up for it.
Buy in bulk.
What about you, Big Sky? You like chitlins?
I don't know what that is.
Well, then you need to have some.
I'm basically from Canada, Jay.
It don't matter where you're from. There's people up there that eat chitlins.
This seems like something that you have a better chance of knowing the further south you go on the United States.
That is correct.
We will pick this up tomorrow because there's zero chance he's had chitlins. That's Jay Foreman, Big Sky. Nick, thank you for what you do. We will talk to you folks tomorrow. Don't move. Nicole is next.
Early break